There's a video right there of her being 10 feet away from you and you telling my dispatcher that she just grabbed you.
She did grab my arm.
If you don't have proof of that on your phone, you're under arrest.
A man made a false assault claim to get an innocent woman arrested over her music. His lie almost worked until a body cam started rolling. Tonight, we break down the encounter where a man weaponized 911 because he didn't like someone's music. The precise second the police, instead of arresting his victim, hand him a felony is unbelievable. The pivotal piece of evidence that changes everything comes faster than you'd expect, and justice is served with a side of instant karma.
That's why we came out here.
I put my life in danger for something that wasn't real.
Yeah,
Get your butt in the car.
She grabbed my
Get
arm,
your butt in the car.
The incident began with a 911 call at 8:52 p.m. on August 29th, 2025. A man at a Love's gas station off I-75 reported that a woman blasting music had just grabbed his arm, demanding an immediate police presence. The urgent call was quickly flagged by the dispatcher, escalating the seemingly minor disturbance to a priority battery in progress. This was no longer a noise complaint. It was a potential crime of violence. 3 cruisers were dispatched, rolling silently toward the scene. Meanwhile, a woman named Jasmine was at the pump, completely unaware of the false accusation just hurled her way. Her phone was in hand, R and B, humming from her car speakers at what she felt was a normal volume. Her simple stop for fuel was about to turn into a legal nightmare, triggered by someone else's anger and a blatant lie. Officer Silva arrived first, his eyes quickly identifying the 911 caller. Mr. Harris, a man in his mid-40s, stood with arms defiantly folded. Silva approached, and Harris immediately launched into his narrative, insisting he was attacked and pointing toward a woman named Jasmine.
When she grabbed my arm, I'm like, okay, what's she going to do next? That's the only reason I did. She walked around my vehicle right before that. And after she did that, I backed up and I stayed away from her.
Silva, a seasoned officer, maintained a calm demeanor and simply nodded before walking over to Jasmine, who was by her car, likely wondering why patrol cars were converging on her. But Jasmine understood the power of documentation. The moment Officer Silva approached, her phone was already recording. It was a smart, instinctive move. Her story was simple and direct. She never touched the man, and he was angry because she wouldn't turn down her music. The officers now had 2 completely different accounts, but this wasn't just a he said, she said situation. Jasmine's phone was a silent, unflinching witness, about to become the star player in uncovering the truth. Standard police procedure dictates separating the parties to prevent further confrontation. Officer Lee took Mr. Harris aside, while Officer Silva remained with Jasmine. Lee questioned Harris about the alleged grab, and Harris elaborated with theatrical detail, claiming she wrapped both hands around his right forearm and yanked him. But Lee's trained eyes scanned Harris's arm and saw nothing. No marks, no redness, not even a wrinkle in his shirt sleeve that might suggest a struggle. The lack of physical evidence was already whispering doubts. Meanwhile, Officer Silva asked Jasmine for her side of the story. Without a word, she played her video. The 38-second clip was crystal clear. It showed Harris stepping forward, aggressively pointing his finger inches from Jasmine's face.
And he heard the music and he started saying, "Turn that shit off now, you're disturbing my peace." The guy just left that wanted to report to you guys, and they all know me, and they're like, he came in here mad.
In response, Jasmine leaned back to create distance. Crucially, the video showed she never made physical contact. Then came the bombshell. The video's timestamp perfectly matched the 911 call. Harris was on the phone reporting a battery even as the video proved no contact occurred. This was the turning point. Silva, his expression hardening, immediately radioed Lee, informing him of the contradictory evidence. Officer Lee walked Harris to the front of his cruiser, directly in view of the dashcam. The air of indignation around Harris began to deflate as Lee's tone turned firm. He confronted Harris, stating that the video doesn't show her touching him, and, in fact, shows him on the phone making the claim while she was backing away. Cornered, Harris doubled down, muttering that she must have edited it. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was an intentional fabrication. Lee then brought out the legal hammer. stating that filing a false police report in Georgia is a felony, carrying a penalty of up to 3 years in prison. He asked Harris if he was absolutely sure he wanted to stick with his story. Harris, still believing he could bluff his way out, just shrugged and retorted that he knew his rights. The officers had given him a chance to recant. He chose to persist in his deception, sealing his own fate. Just as Harris's bravado was cracking, more witnesses emerged. Marisol, the gas station cashier, approached Officer Silva. She explained she'd seen Jasmine at the station weekly for years, and there was never drama. She added that Harris was the one screaming about the music. Marisol's account painted Harris as the aggressor from the start. The corroboration didn't stop there. Another customer, a trucker named Devin, had his dash cam running. His footage confirmed the story. No touching, just a lot of yelling from Harris. At this point, officers had a mountain of evidence. Jasmine's video, Devin's dash cam, Marisol's eyewitness account, and the 911 audio itself. Georgia statute 16-10-26 explicitly makes it a felony to knowingly give false information to law enforcement that alleges a crime. Battery is a crime. The elements of the offense were met. Time for warnings was over. Officer Silva, his demeanor now resolute, approached Harris and commanded him to turn around, a stammering. Harris asked what for. Silva's response was direct. He was being arrested for filing a felony false report. The unmistakable click of handcuffs engaging was the sound of karma, delivered swiftly.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back. You're being detained. Until I get a video from inside, you're being detained.
Okay. You don't have to. I'm not going to go anywhere.
I don't care.
Okay, I understand, sir.
Go. Go your own.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Even then, Harris couldn't let go of his victim narrative, yelling accusations of racism in a pathetic, last-ditch attempt to create chaos. His words fell flat. Jasmine, still recording, remained remarkably composed. Her final reflection was that all she wanted was gas and a song. By 9:27 p.m., less than an hour after his frantic 911 call, Harris was no longer the accuser. He was the accused, sitting in a patrol car, charged with 1 count of felony false report and misdemeanor disorderly conduct. Let's recap how quickly this unfolded. It started with a pointless argument over music. Instead of a polite request or simply walking away, it escalated into a gross misuse of the 911 system. And what exposed the truth? One small smartphone video that captured reality. The net result: the accuser became the accused, facing serious legal consequences. The justice system, initially diverted by a lie, was ultimately used to enforce accountability. It's a stark reminder that while feelings might run high, facts captured on camera often prevail. The wheels of justice continued to turn. Harris bonded out the next morning, but his legal troubles were far from over. A court date was set for October. Prosecutors routinely seek jail time for false report felonies to deter 911 abuse. Harris now faces a potential sentence of 1 to 3 years in prison and a hefty $5,000 fine for his impulsive lie. Jasmine, on the other hand, emerged with her dignity and freedom intact. When news outlets caught the story, she simply indicated she would keep her playlist exactly as it is. The lesson is clear: facts beat feelings, and cameras don't lie. Tonight, we saw a man try to play the victim and manipulate the system, but the unblinking eye of a camera, combined with diligent police work, flipped the script. It's a powerful reminder of accountability in the digital age. Every false 911 call wastes precious resources meant for genuine emergencies. Lie to the police, and you might just find yourself starring in your own felony Bodycam sequel. Thanks for watching.